I'm sharing my screen. So is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yesterday we were talking about the main educational institutions of higher education during ancient India. So we'll just have a quick revision or recap. So the first one, the oldest university known was Takshashila, and it was the capital of Gandhar kingdom. And Takshashila has been described as the first university established across the globe in 7th century BCE. And it was famous for medical studies, basically, but there are many more streams were also there. Panini, the well-known grammarian, the Kautilya, minister of Chandragupta Maurya, and Charaka, that is the medical teacher of, uh, had been a part of it. And the minimum age was here to get admission was more than 16 years. But during that time, there was no examination pattern, or because there was no examination, so no degrees or diploma or any kind of certificate uh, provided to the students after completion of the course. Like they continue their studies and research, and then after getting the full knowledge, they become teacher there itself. So and no caste distinction was also not there. So in that way, very liberal system was there. And other than this Veda, there is Ayurveda also, and military education was also there, astronomy, agriculture. So there are many more streams. The second, the most renowned university was Nalanda, which was which is located at present also in near Rajagriha in the province of Bihar. And it was Buddhist center of learning from 427 CE to 1197 CE. And it has been known as one of the first great universities in recorded history. And Hugh Sang from China came here in 7th century CE, and it progressed a lot during Gupta dynasty. In the year 2010, Nalanda University was set up in Bihar as a central university with the collaboration of Japan, China, Thailand, Laos, Singapore, and Australia. In various manners, they are collaborating with us. Then the Kulpati or Chancellor of the university was named as Sheila Bhadra during that time. And there was a very famous 9-story building just for the library purpose. So library consists that time 9-story building and had 3 departments which were known as Ratna Sagar. So this is the important things about the Nalanda University. Then the third one is Vallabhi. Vallabhi is also there in India in western sides, and Husang and I Singh, they found Vallabhi in the western side as glorious as Nalanda. And here the center, this is the center of religious education. But Artha Shastra, that means economics, Niti Shastra, that is law, and Chikitsa, that is medicine, were also taught there. And this was mainly the center for Hinayana form of Buddhism. Uh, there are two branches of Buddhism. You might be knowing this: Hinayana, and this other one is other one is
Mahayana, ma'am.
Mahayana. Now, what is the difference?
I have no clear understanding about the difference of Hinayana and Mahayana, but I know that those are the two different sects of Buddhism.
Yeah. This Mahayana, they believe in idol of Buddha. Like that means the great Hin, Maha, and Yana. Maha means great, and Yana means some vehicle. So that way, like you can say the Mahayana believes in and they worship Buddha, Gautam Buddha as the the divine power, and they worship his idol. But uh, this Hinayana, they just believe in individual salvation. You can say Hinayana means Hina means lower or a smaller, and Yana means vehicle, smaller vehicle. And they have different philosophies, but both are one or the other way follows the teachings of Buddha only. But Hinayana just believe, individual salvation through self discipline and meditation. So the next university, the famous university, was Vikramshila, and it was set up and established by the Emperor Dharmapala of Pala dynasty in 8th century in northern Magadha, on the banks of the river Ganges. The main subjects of study were like Vyakaran, that is grammar, logic, philosophy, Tantra Shastra, and Karmakanda. All that yagya and all the various ceremonies and all which they used to perform on different occasions. And the fifth one is Udantapuri, which had been established long before the kings of Pala dynasty, and it came when Pala dynasty came into power in Magadha. The next one is Jagadala. That is again Pal King Rajaram Pal of Bengal constructed. This is again a monastery and named it as a Jagadala. Then there is Mithila. Mithila, it is in Upanishad age. Mithila became a prominent seat of Brahmanical education. It was also named as Videha. And here also um, the subjects were literature, fine arts, some scientific subjects were also taught there, and Nyaya Shastra, Tarka Shastra. So that way it gained many, very much, popularity. And even up to Emperor Akbar, it continued to flourish as an important center of education and culture. The next one is Nadia. It is situated at the confluence of Ganga and the Jalangi rivers in Bengal, and it was formerly called as Navadvip. Navadvip. And this university also, the lyrics of Gita Govind by Jayadev, he reverberated here. And it is again a school of logic, and the essential qualification of a teacher of this university will be the efficiency in discussion, how efficient and how learned that person is. Then the next university which gained, uh, a very renowned university on those days was Ujjain. It was famous for its secular learning, including mathematics and astronomy and other important centers of learning in South India were Salotgi, Inayaram, Sringeri, and Kanchi. So, most important university you should know something about were the earlier 451, but you should know the names of these universities. Now, from the beginning of Mughal Empire in India in 1526 until the end of Mughal political presence in 1848, Persian was the court language, and Sanskrit academies continued to teach young male Brahmins literature and law. And commercial schools, there were commercial schools also, which taught boys the skills needed for business. So, as the passes, there were different universities for different, subjects, and the entry of a particular child or a student will be restricted to some particular, you know, I can't say it's a caste, but a particular religion based, or you can say particular area of people, particular students or belonging to particular category, they used to enter on those universities. Now, evolution of this higher education and research in post-independence India. We'll see some of the facts before independence, and first, and then after independence. Now, modern education, what we call nowadays, not related to the Vedic culture or the ancient knowledge, but modern education began in India under the British rule. Now, before the British, the main three basic agents of modern education in India were the British government or the East India Company. Then there were Christian missionaries, and then Indian intellectuals and reformers. So, three basic agents of modern education were there. So there were some, main events, main acts passed at particular year. So that you should remember that first one in 1781, Warren Hastings established the Calcutta Madrasa for the teaching of Muslim law. And after 10 years, in 1791, a Sanskrit college was started in Varanasi by Jonathan Duncan for the study of Hindu philosophy and law system. And after that, in 1835, so these are the main, year and what was established. You should just remember those particular event and the time or the year. In 1835, under Lord William Banting, it was decided to introduce English as a medium of instruction. Earlier in ancient time, it was like different scenario. It was Sanskrit, but in Sanskrit, in mm, the schools where the Indian Vedic education were given, and then Urdu or Arabic in madrasa, or you can say where the Muslim education, Muslim law were taught. So that way, the most important, you can say, turning point was in 1835. The Elphinstone College, Bombay, and the Calcutta Medical College were set. Just a minute. Okay, I'll share it again. All right. So in 1835, the Elphinstone College, Bombay, and Calcutta Medical College were set. This year is very much important. And the second important event was Sir Charles Wood Dispatch of 1854. That is also called the Magna Carta of English education in India, committed to create a properly articulated scheme of education from the primary school to university. A proper rule was given by Sir Charles Wood. So that is again a very important event. So you should remember this. And in 1850, the University of Calcutta, Madras, and Mumbai were established. So this is again a very important year. Just a minute. Now, Hunter Commission, it came into the year 1882, 83, and it suggests the segregation of primary and higher education. So there are some, year after year, some changes, some modulation was there. So you should remember some of the things like Hunter Commission when it came into existence. What does its you know proposals. So in 1902, Universities Commission was set up under Sir Thomas Raleigh to inquire into conditions and prospects of setting up of universities in India. And in on those proposals, in 1904, Indian Universities Act was passed. So you should remember this. When does this happen? On the basis of which commission the Indian University Act was passed? So it is in the year 1902. University Commission was set up under Sir Thomas Raleigh. And in 1904, this act was passed. And in 1905, the National Council of Education was set up by Swadeshi nationalist leaders, and then Jadhav University is the result of this. So under this Indian University Act, in 1905, Jadhav University was set up. And after that, Sri Rabindranath Tagore started Shanti Niketan in Bengal during this era. So this is again a very important year. You should remember this. Now, in 1917, one more important commission, Sadler Commission, which is popularly called as Calcutta University Commission, suggested the separation of intermediate education.
It is Sadler, right? I say WDLER, Sadler.
Yeah, it's Sadler. It's a spelling mistake was there. Sadler Commission, yes, SADDLER. So this commission suggested the separation of intermediate education from degree colleges, and you can say it was the precursor of to this 10 plus 2 plus 3 system, which is currently running, and setting up of Central Advisory Board of Education, that is CABE that time. So you should remember this year and the setting up of Central Advisory Board of Education, CABE. And in 1929, Hartog Commission focused on the quality and standard of the education. So it was just a check how this education is commencing, it's going on, what are the weaknesses, what to be improved. So the quality and standard of education was focused by this Hartog Commission. This is again an important commission. Then in 1934, the Sapru Committee came into existence, and this focused upon the unemployment issues. So unemployment issues before independence was focused by this Sapru Committee in 1934. In 1937, this Abbott Wood report came, and this was the recommendation of this report that English should be the medium of instructions at university level, not at a schooling level, but at university level, English should be the medium. Then Vardha scheme of education came in 1937, same year. This recommended Nai Talim, or the basic education, as a recommendation of Mahatma Gandhi, recommended that this basic education should be given to every child.
In this, there is no Macaulay's minute and all that. First, I think it started with Macaulay's minute.
The book I referred there, it was not there, but I'll search.
That is the first start point, ma'am, when English came to India.
I think it is in 1835 only. This Lord Macaulay gave his minutes, and he advocated, I think, efforts to make natives of the country thoroughly good. For English scholars, actually, this government, British government, also wants some, employees to work with. They should know, so that they can communicate with them in properly, and to create a workforce for them. So that way, they restructured this education system. Macaulay was one of them, yes. It is, but the year is same. This 1835 only, I think. So in 1944, the Sargent Report, also known as Scheme of Post-War after the World War II, the post-war educational development in India, and recommended setting up of UGC, that is the University Grant Commission. And after independence, the government of India took several initiatives to improve and promote higher education in the country. The first one is the Radhakrishnan Commission, which was in the period 1948 to 1949, and suggested the integration of secondary education and higher education by setting up of UGC. So this is again a important year. So this is in the modern education system, you can say, after independence. So the next came into existence was Mudaliar Commission, which was in the year 1952 to 53. And it is also popular as a secondary education commission. So remember this. And it recommended introduction of 3-year secondary and 4-year higher education system. So every commission has its own recommendations. So just remember um, what are the recommendation and in which year they came into existence. One more important thing you should remember that this UGC was formally inaugurated by late Shri Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, and then the Ministry of Education at that time. And there was a natural resources and scientific research on 28th of December 1953. So this I'll include in my slide. This is again an important thing. So this UGC, actually it is formally established in November 1956 as a body of the government of India, and through some, an act of parliament for the coordination. And what is the main purpose to establish this commission was just to coordinate and for the determination and maintenance of the standards of the universities in India. Then there is again a many important committee on emotional integration. This is something different which came into existence in 1961 under the chairmanship of Dr. Sampurananand, to study the role of educational programs for the youth in order to strengthen the process of emotional integration. Some emotional, the way of integrate among the students or among the teachers. And this should remember, the students must remember, the 63, in 1963, there was a decision by the Gujarat University to make Gujarati the sole medium of instruction and examination, but it was taken back after a court decision. So this the next important commission was Kothari Commission. Many questions came from here. When does it established and what its recommendations? So in 1964 to 1966, this period was under this Kothari Commission, and it was titled as Education and National Development Report. The same thing can be asked: what commission was titled as this, or when did it uh, established or came into existence? So it is again a very progressive report because it proposed a 3-year degree course and 4-year honors degree course, and there is a establishment of IES, that is the Indian Education Service, to improve the quality of Indian higher education. It was also a very um, you can say a famous recommendation, and it recommended that 6% of the national income should be spent on education. This is again a very important recommendation which was there, but it is yet to fulfill. So the next one in 1976, through entry of 25 or the 42nd constitutional amendment in the concurrent list of Constitution of India, the center was also given the responsibility along with the states for all levels of education, because earlier it was the responsibility of a particular sector. Then this post independence, this education was the responsibility of the states, while the center was given the function of coordination and just to observatory body, and to assist or some provide some help in the financial sector. Now the next topic is national policy on education. So during the years, the UGC has implemented the decisions such as for the setting up of study centers or cells, like for human studies in 1986, and the career orientation education, that is the vocationalization of education in 1994 to 1995. This was under the UGC. So after that, there is again a policy, national education policy, in 1986, and point of action was there in 1992. So Kothari Commission was followed by this NPE, which is of 68, and there are two years, 68 and 86. So the program of action was in 92, and it emphasized on the improving the quality of higher education level, and also proposed imparting higher education by distance learning mode also at that time. And after that, the open university concept was came into existence. This was misspelled, I think. This Gyanam, it's a Gyanam committee, 1993, and it recommended flexibility and autonomy for academic excellence. Then, current years after that, the Sam Pritroda Committee was established in 2007, and it also popularly known as National Knowledge Committee (NKC), and it recommended the reconstructuring of curricula to meet the demand of multidisciplinary, um, professionals, and criteria-based resource allocation to ensure maintenance of standards and strategy preferences to promote excellence in higher education. And it supported the entry of foreign universities also, and also favored reducing the burden of affiliation of colleges on universities. Like, in a particular one university there should not be many colleges under, because it will be difficult to handle by the single university. So just to reduce the burden of affiliation of colleges on universities, at this NKC, that is the National Knowledge Commission, recommended increasing the number of universities to say 1500 by 2015. Then again, a committee came, Yashpal Committee, which suggested scrapping of all higher education, and there are so many higher education or you can say regulatory or monitoring bodies, and creation of a super regulator, that is a seven-member commission for higher education and research, and the deemed university status be abandoned. So under this, this seven-member commission, it recommended that the deemed university status be, um, abundant, and that all the deserving deemed universities be either converted into full-fledged universities, or they have to be scrapped. So the committee stressed the need for more attention to undergraduate programs and multidisciplinary approach to learning. So this Yashpal committee also strongly recommended reducing the burden of affiliation of colleges on the university, and some tests evolved for the university education. Some entrance examination should be there. So the recommendation of this committee and the NKC, that is the um, Sam Pitruda committee, this emanated from the realization that fragmentation of various fields of knowledge in higher education led to inadequate growth of interdisciplinary learning. So they given some recommendations based on that. The next one is Sharma Committee, which was set up under Professor M.M. Sharma, and is deliberated upon the development of science and technology education in India. So this was the main field, and this committee suggested the establishment of IISER, that is Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, and recommended the expansion of technical area, technical education, and also assuring the quality and providing access and affordability for the technical education. And it also recommended some finances or some, the fund to be spent on this research. That is almost near about 500 crore rupees. Then there is another committee, Dr. Anil Kakodkar committee, and it was constituted to recommend strategies to improve technical education in India again. And it recommended 2% budget in every institution to be embarked on the research. So much stress was given on the research field, and it is the, you can say it is the, a way to growth in a particular field, whether it is art, culture, finance, technically you can say engineering field or medical field. Research is most, it's an area which should be encouraged by the government and by the university itself. And then there is again a different committee, KB Pawar committee, which is constituted by UGC. And this committee recommended four models of public-private partnership in higher education. Um, Particularly in higher education, this PPP model is working in various fields, in various departments, in various sectors. So for education also, especially in higher education, this public-private partnership was recommended by this KB Pawar committee. So these are the various committees which we discussed. Now we'll discuss something which is again an important one. The difference between, or you can say, the characteristics of conventional and non-conventional education. So conventional means some orthodox, you can say, teaching, and non-conventional, which is modern education, you can say. So in conventional education, it is basically passive learning, no active learning here, where the child listens to the teacher and follows the directions from the teacher who sets the pace for the instructions. But in non-conventional, it is active learning where the move freely, choosing her own work and the pace at which it is being done. So, teacher, if there is, it may just be a facilitator. Then student here in conventional teaching provided with knowledge, skills, and experience. And here in non-conventional, the general development students and mastering of learning module means. Sorry. So here in conventional teaching, the core competence will be given as examples, facts. Then there should be some discussion, arguments, and text, a dedicated time and effort. The purpose is to master a defined skill and develop socially. So there is a constant peer contact between the teacher and student, and between the group, between the individual and the whole class, and the verbal, visual, practical, limited contact time is there. So, but in this case, there is a generalization of law, theory, rule, and concept. The cognitive, social, and psychological development of mind is there in non-conventional, and there is a limited peer contact. So teamwork and there is a teamwork and collective way of training, and the self-control and self-assessment is the primary focus in case of non-conventional teaching.
You go back to the previous slide once.
Okay, here it is. In conventional teaching, there is always you are under the supervision of a teacher. Control and assessment was done by a teacher. But here in non-conventional, you are like you have to have self-control, self-assessment. So that way it is very much different. And here in non-conventional, because it is a teamwork, so the important factors are cooperation and collaboration. But here there is conventional teaching, it's a subject-object relation only. And the medium will be maybe verbal, maybe visual, in case of this conventional teaching. Now, the regularity framework of higher education in India. So there are two bodies basically. Uh, we get, education is in concurrent list where both central and state governments can legislate. So there should be a coordination while the center coordinates and determines the standards in higher education and technical education or school education is primarily the responsibility of state. So the key policy making agencies are the two. In case of higher education, there are these bodies which play an important role. So the central government, it lays down the national policy on education and it provides grant to the UGC to establish central universities um, and institutions of a national importance in the country in various areas, various states. And this UGC has a power to declare an educational institution as deemed to be university on the recommendation. The central government approves it and then declare it. And the state government has also set up the state councils and advisory board. Like central government has UGC, then this state governments also, they are having councils or advisory boards to provide guidelines for proper functioning of higher educational institutes in the state. And the State Council for Higher Education coordinates the roles of government, universities, and agencies. So within the state, and they also, communicate with the central board or central government. They are affiliated with in some or the other way. And there is a third body, which is the Central Advisory Board of Education, CABE. And this was set up for the coordination and cooperation between the union and the states in the field of education, including the policy making. So these are the three regulatory bodies of higher education in India. And the next topic is various universities. So I think we'll discuss it later. we'll start this topic in the next class. So I think this much is enough. We'll see in detail the UGC, when does it set up, and what are these, how it makes laws, what are the important work it has to done. So all these things we'll discuss in next class. For today, this much is enough, I think. So any doubt you can ask.
Ma'am, in the commissions, what we discussed, like the Kotari Commission and all, you were mentioning some of the important, like what to remember. No? So while sending the slides, if you can just highlight those, like in the slide itself, if you can highlight, like we will not miss on, especially we will not miss on those. Like we will know that these are the points which are to be stressed by us. So if you can just highlight or make it bold or underline, we will get to know that those are important.
Okay, I'll try. Anything else?
I think Macauley's minutes also is important, and there's one Zakir Hussain